Did you think you're coming with us? I'm going with my family. I don't want a stranger tagging along with us. Besides, my husband is disabled and is nothing but a burden now. If I bring him with us, he would ruin the fun. You have to stay behind and take care of him by yourself. You used to be an angel in white, so you can't say no, can you? I brought you here for that purpose in the first place, so do your part. I was living with my in-laws to support my father-in-law, who was seriously injured in an accident. One day, I was in the kitchen doing my chores without a clue when my mother-in-law and my husband left the house with a large suitcase in their hands. They didn't care about my father-in-law's condition. They had no way of knowing what I was doing through every day in the house. I clenched my fist with tears of frustration. Shall we go too? I turned to face the sudden voice and was shocked to see the appearance of my father-in-law. 10 days later, this story took a turn of events. I'm Beth, 28 years old. I used to work as a nurse at a nearby hospital. My husband Alex, who used to frequent the hospital, took an interest in me, and we got married 6 months ago. He's 35 years old, 7 years older than me, and works as a civil servant. I used to work both day and night shifts depending on the emergency. This meant that I would have less time to spend with him. I stopped working for the time being and have been a full-time housewife. I never liked doing housework, but I gradually learned to be efficient for the sake of hardworking Alex. One night, he received a call from his mother. I could hear her frantic voice over the phone. "Oh my God, your dad got into a car accident. I don't know what to do. Oh dear, what should I do?" "Mom, calm down. Take a deep breath and tell me what happened." I was stunned to hear that my father-in-law Connor had been in an accident. He had suffered a serious head injury, lost consciousness, and was rushed by ambulance. Fortunately, he survived, but the doctor said that his brain was damaged and that he would need adequate care for the rest of his life. This is terrible. Beth, will you move in with my parents? My mom wouldn't be able to do it all by herself. It'll be a relief to have someone with experience. Of course, I'm concerned too. I would do anything to help such a great father-in-law. Thus, I willingly accepted Alex's request to move in with my in-laws. The next day, I started a new life living with the 4 of us. However, it was the beginning of hell for me. At first, my mother-in-law Elle welcomed me with smiles and open arms. Within 3 days, she gave up on housework, and I found myself doing everything. "Beth, you are a full-time housewife, right? Then, there's no reason for me to do the housework. Connor can't move or talk, so you look after him well. You were taking care of your patients before, so it's an easy task for you, right?" She always took the easy way out and forced me to do things she didn't want to do. My in-laws' house was a big 5-bedroom mansion. It took me hours just to do the usual cleaning. On top of that, I had to do the laundry, cook meals, and take care of Connor. I was exhausted every day. Even so, I did everything without relying on Elle, but she never once thanked me. On the contrary, she enjoyed criticizing my efforts. "Beth, you're not washing the clothes in the right way. Your cooking is tasteless without the proper seasoning. How can you call yourself a full-time housewife?" "I'm sorry, but I do everything by myself. Can you let me do it the way I want?" "No, You've only been a housewife for 6 months and already think you're all that? This is my house. You live here, so you obey me. I became increasingly fed up with her treating me like a servant and asked Alex for help. Hon, can't you help me out once in a while? I'm getting tired of having to deal with your mother's complaints day in and day out. He responded with a smirk. Well, she has the authority in this house, so you just need to follow her rule. I'm already tired from working, so no way I'm gonna help you with the chores. For someone who's been provided by me, you asking too much. I'd rather you be grateful. He was completely on our side. While enduring such a situation, I tried my best to help Connor recover every day. 6 months after we started living together, he got better to the point he could walk. How wonderful to see you walking. I praised his efforts in tears, partly because I had been rewarded for all the care I had given him. However, he was still unable to speak properly and remained mute in response to me. He was not able to eat well and still suffered from the after effects of the accident. Still, I held his hand tightly and kept telling him it's gonna be alright. The next morning, as I was preparing breakfast, I heard Elle and Alex talking in the living room. It's our first trip to Paris. I can't believe I get to enjoy my first trip abroad with you. I'm so excited. Me too. I'm honored to be able to take you there. Let's forget our stress and enjoy to the fullest. Apparently, they had been planning the trip for several days without telling me and Connor. When I overheard that they would be leaving soon, I rushed to the living room. What on earth are you talking about? A trip to Paris? Oh, you heard us. We are going for a little getaway together. Do you have a problem? I guess not. I thought it was nice that they're taking a trip together, but what bothered me was that they kept this a secret from me. Isn't it too abrupt that you're leaving today? Why didn't you tell me in advance? I've always wanted to visit Paris. I'm hurt that you didn't include me in your planning. What are you talking about? You staying at home, of course? Even if I told you, I knew you'd stop us anyway. So I decided to tell you on the day. I don't want to bring my disabled husband with me. I don't want the hassle for sure. You're a housewife who can't even do the job properly. Why don't you be useful at least for a change? I'm just glad to get away from Connor. Seeing my bewildered face, Elle smiled triumphantly and kept speaking ill of him. She never even tried to get involved with his care anyway. Mom, it's time to go. Well, yes, we're leaving now. We'll be away for about 10 days, so make sure you take care of the house and take good care of Connor's dementia. I guess he's only going to get worse. I couldn't help but gasp at her insolent attitude toward her own husband. How could you say such a terrible thing? Shouldn't you wish for him to get better as a wife? Your husband is in such a condition, and you two are carelessly going away. What is wrong with you? Please cancel it now. I wanted to stop them from leaving with physical force if I could. What are you talking about? We've been looking forward to this trip, and you are trying to ruin our mood. It's been planned for a long time, and we've already booked the plane tickets. I even managed to get a paid leave amidst the busy schedule, so I'm going to make the most of these 10 days. I've been providing for you. You have no right to stop us. That's right. Connor isn't getting any better anyway. Nothing will change even if we stay with him. We're going to be late, so this conversation's over. Once again, take care of the house. The pressure from the two of them was indeed too much for me, and I was at the loss for words. They quickly ran out without saying bye to Connor, but leaving me with orders. Not only Elle, but also Alex had abandoned me. I wanted to start wailing on the spot, but I could not show my tears in front of Connor. I brought breakfast to him with a smile, as if nothing had happened. The moment I put the tray on the bedside table. Are those two gone already? To my surprise, he was able to talk. He even stood up from the bed without a problem. What are you doing? You can speak? They've already left. I replied in amazement. Then we're leaving too. He quickly got ready and walked out of the room. 10 days had passed since Elle and Alex was home. Suddenly, they were speechless. The house, which was supposed to be there, had been turned into a flat land. Both of them panicked at the shocking sight. Alex called me in frenzy. Oh my God, what the hell happened? The house is gone. Welcome back. We got rid of the house. Also, your father and I have decided to divorce you guys. Our attorney will call you later. They cursed me for this unexpected turn of events. There's no way you can do such a selfish thing. You're not even the owner of the house. She's right. You better explain yourself. I brushed it off saying, I'll let Connor take over now. I handed the phone to him, who was standing nearby. You two, listen to me very carefully. They were stunned to hear him speak in such a clear voice. What really happened was that he had regained his speech about 3 months after the car accident. He had kept it a secret from us all, and had been receiving treatment and rehabilitation at another hospital run by his acquaintance. With his amazing recovery, he was able to speak as normal, and the after effects of the accident has disappeared. I had often witnessed him wandering about the house, but that was only a pretense of dementia. He was actually going to a hospital or to see his legal advisor. He was the only son of an affluent family, and had been managing his vast wealth alone since his parents died when he was young. On the day Elle and Alex departed for Paris, I followed him to his attorney's office. He decided to move into a luxury senior apartment with nursing care, which was affiliated with the hospital I used to work at. As a token of appreciation, he offered me a sum of money for my immediate living expenses and a residence in one of his apartment buildings. After that, he sold his house to a real estate company. We both packed up and moved into our new homes. Connor had seen more than enough of Elle and Alex's nasty nature over the past few months. He was disgusted and demanded a divorce from Elle, and declared to cut ties with both of them. How can you abandon your own son? Alex was furious, but Connor calmly confessed. Actually, you and I are not related by blood. Alex was speechless. Connor explained to him everything that had happened. Alex was brought to the family when he was still newborn. Elle and Connor had kept it a secret all this time. When Connor's best friend suddenly passed away, leaving his pregnant wife without much means to live, Connor pitied and took her in. Their marriage was out of the norm, but they were happy living together as a family of 3. However, Elle and Alex took advantage of the fact that Connor had become bedridden. They started spending a lot of his money and even used it to pay for the trip as well. When he noticed it, he pretended to be physically disabled. He dared them to do as they pleased and waited for the right moment. Having grown sick of them, he decided to sell the mansion. He also donated most of his wealth to a foundation for orphaned children. He had already asked the attorney to take care of the necessary procedures. I was amazed by the fact that something on such a big scale had been done so quietly. He told them that the rest would be discussed through his attorney, and handed me the phone. Elle and Alex flipped out and begged me to do something about it, but I had no sympathy for them. Too bad. I've been told I'm useless except as a caregiver. I hung up the phone on them. Connor and I received numerous calls from them every day. I picked up once and told them, "I've left everything in the hands of my lawyer, so don't call me again." I blocked their calls after that. Not only did they lose their place of residence, but they faced divorce proceedings. They were also shocked to find out that most of the property was donated to a foundation, and there would be no distribution of their inheritance. In addition, Alex was forced to resign after his employer found out that he had falsely requested family paid leave when he went on the trip. After resigning, he's been working part-time while looking for a new job. Naturally, Elle has to work to make ends meet. She's been working as a cleaner from early in the morning until late at night. They are now living together in a small apartment. Meanwhile, after my divorce was finalized, I returned to the hospital where I used to work. I'm working as a nurse again. I visit Connor on a regular basis and enjoy our conversations. By the way, I've been wondering why you didn't tell me that you had recovered. You could have told me. Oh, that's because if I told you, I was afraid that those two would have found out too. My intention was to catch them off guard, you know. I'm sorry you had to deal with them for half a year. I sincerely apologize. No, I was so ready to leave them anyway. Rather, I thank you for giving me the opportunity. You always cared about me. I hope I have repaid your kindness. Thank you too. He treats me like a real daughter, and I will always love him. I am truly grateful to have met such a kind man, despite everything that happened. While I work hard as a nurse, I hope to find a wonderful man in my life soon.